as our Golf Channel writer, Brentley Romine, who joins us now. Brentley, the event is in Texas this week. And as I mentioned, there is a strong Texas connection with past champs like Spieth and Scheffler. This year, no different.
Yeah, George, 8 of the last 25 winners of the U.S. Junior actually hail from the state of Texas. You mentioned Jordan Spieth. He's got 2 of those. Scotty Scheffler, I was there for that in 2013 at Martis Camp outside of Lake Tahoe. Will Zalatoris, Noah Goodwin, the last to do so in 2017. And it's interesting because during that time, we've had 0 from Florida, my state, and 2 from California. So that's a little bit surprising. Now, this week, 9 players from Texas made the knockout stage, round 64 today. And as of now, none have been eliminated. You look at Henry Guan, who got the medalist Mason Howell. And an interesting fact there is that we have still not had a medalist win the U.S. Junior since 2000, when another Texan did it in Matthew Rosenfeld. So Guan, who reclassified to a 2025, he'll start at Oklahoma State this fall. He took down the medalist Luke Colton, the Vanderbilt commit from 26. He won his match. He's going to play fellow Texan Shiv Parmore, an A&M signee in tomorrow's round of 32. And then Lucas Latimer, same swing coach as Luke Colton and Andrew Lewis, but he's actually headed to Division III, Mary Hardin Baylor. So that's the best part about this championship, George, is we get the much ballyhooed recruits that are going to go to these top programs. And then we also get the D3 products as well.
Get a nice mix of everything. And you mentioned some of the top juniors who made it through to match play. As you're tracking the early results today, what has stood out to you?
Well, just a few minutes ago, we had the 7th 9-8 victory in championship history in Ronan Banerjee. He's a 2026, has not committed yet. So a lot of college coaches were certainly out following that. A feel-good story, Chase Bauer, a 15-year-old from Orlando. His mother, Christine, actually has multiple sclerosis. So Chase is a kid who, despite his young age, has had to mature and grow up more than most in this field. He upset the defending champion and Trevor Gachewski, the incoming Florida freshman whose dad, Scott, plays on the Korn Ferry Tour and is actually a winner on the Korn Ferry Tour. And then another near upset that we almost had earlier this morning, top-ranked Miles Russell. He got taken down to the wire by Jackson Orman, a Florida commit, who birdied a second to last hole yesterday just to make the cut and get into match play. Miles found himself 2 down with 3 holes to play, but in typical Miles fashion, he makes a 40-foot bomb on 18, ends up winning in 20 holes. And this is a kid who, I've been covering this junior game a long time, and I can really count on one hand the amount of juniors, high schoolers that have been as impressive at this age as the 16-year-old Miles Russell. I think about Joaquin Neiman, Akshay Bhatia, and then Miles Russell is certainly right there along with them. His services have been, gobbled up by Florida State. He verbally committed to the Seminoles, chose them over Florida just a few weeks ago, and, really a guy who I think we're going to be hearing about for a long time.
I know Tallahassee's excited to have him. We've been talking throughout the show or throughout this week as far as the Ryder Cup lead up, a couple spots remaining, U.S. side or European side. Walker Cup, similar scenario, a couple spots still up for grabs, and the U.S. Junior could have a big impact. Who's in the mix?
Yeah, so we'll start with Miles. He has a chance by 4 days to be the youngest competitor in Walker Cup history. I think I have him in right now. A loss today certainly would have hurt his chances. But then another high schooler. It's interesting because coming into this week, we had 3 high schoolers in the top 50 of the World Amateur Golf ranking. All were left-handers. We mentioned Luke Colton earlier, but I actually think Tyler Watts has played the best out of all 3 this summer. He won the Sunahana Amateur in June in record fashion, was runner-up at the North and South, top 10 at the Northeast. And of course, he was the runner-up in this championship last year to Trevor Gachewski. And there's a little bit of precedence too, George. We don't often have one junior golfer on the Walker Cup team, and we almost never have 2. But we have had one in the past where we've had 2 on the U.S. team. That was Patrick Rogers and Jordan Spieth, who were both incoming college freshmen back in 2011. So perhaps Miles and Tyler Watts could be the next Patrick and Jordan who teamed up at Lytham that week.
And that was that historic class of 2011 back then. Charlie Woods, one of those who did not make it to the match play portion of this event. But Brentley, you've learned a little more about what his possible college plans could be. What are they?
Yes, I don't have any super breaking news, but I have been able to dig around as much as possible. Obviously, college coaches can't officially comment on prospective student athletes, but Charlie Woods, as of June 15th, was allowed to start communicating with college coaches. I've been told that it's been pretty quiet on that front. Charlie is certainly taking his time. And if you go back a couple years ago, maybe even last year, there was some question as to whether Charlie Woods could play at the elite Division I level, and whether he could actually make a team in the roster limit era at Stanford and follow in his father's footsteps. And we saw the big win at Streamsong, the TaylorMade Invitational on the AJGA in May. Beat Miles Russell, beat Luke Colton, beat Tyler Watts. That propelled him into the top 20 of the junior golf rankings, and I think it put everyone on notice that Charlie Woods can play high-level Division I golf. I expect him to take his time. Has not reached out to any college coaches as far as I know, but his dad, Tiger, when he was deciding between Stanford and UNLV, he didn't commit to Stanford until the same year that he signed with the Cardinals. So they're certainly in no rush, and obviously the Woods family knows what they're doing when it comes to golf.
We will certainly wait and see what unfolds with Charlie Woods' recruiting decision. Thank you, Brentley.
Thanks, George.